Okay.
And welcome to this week's episode of Brown on Black. Yay! We have a studio audience somewhat in the background. Actually, that's our guest for later on. This is the show where we try to educate you about the unique diversity in the African American community through various topics pertaining to the Black community. And I am joined with a lovely guest now and a lovely guest later. I'm your host, Luana Nelson-Brown, and joining me is Paulette Wiley. Yay, welcome to the show.
Thank you so
It's
much.
a first-time guest. First-time guest. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
love her. I love your enthusiasm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I try. Now, for all of you out there watching, if this is your first time watching and you see I'm turning away from you, not because I don't love you, because I do, but because I want to see my shot, make sure we've got a perfect view of us lovely ladies. For those of you out there watching, if this is your first time tuning in live, if you want, you can talk to Paulette and I live by chatting in. And what you do is hit chat at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, enter in a nickname, and we will see you typing. And we can type live back to our audience members.
Great.
Isn't that awesome?
Isn't
wonderful? Thank you so
Perfect.
much. Thank
Perfect.
you so much. So today I've got dual topics for you. We are talking about women in stress, which you could probably talk about as well.
Talk about that. You can see what the other guest comes on and talk about that and get some help from him for myself.
Exactly.
Good.
We're talking about women in stress and how many women have found Zumba as a stress reliever.
I've heard that.
It's awesome. Have you ever been?
I have not been, but I have seen it on television, and it's just remarkable. I need to come.
Awesome. You should come.
I really need to
by
come.
the end of the show, we're going to have Paulette and
I
Zumba.
bet they will.
So later on in our next segment, we'll be talking to Brianne Ward, who's a fitness instructor and a sexual assault and domestic violence, correct? No, just sexual assault. Okay, sexual assault. Oh, is it just advocate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds weird, like you're advocating sexual assault. But you all know what I mean. She's a sexual assault advocate as well as a Zumba fitness instructor, and has found that by marrying the two, women are getting relieved of trauma by doing Zumba. And
That's
so we're going to,
wonderful.
isn't that awesome? We're going to talk about that a little later. Yes. But in the first segment, welcome Miss Paulette Wiley. Is it doctor?
Oh, well, thank you. We'll make it an honorary.
Honorary.
There you go. I'll walk in on you.
There you go.
But thank you so much.
Anytime. And she is the owner and founder of EBT, Education Brain Trust.
And again, you give me too much credit. No, I am not the founder.
Not the founder.
No, I'd like to tell you that it was actually founded in 1980 by Larry Carter, Evelyn Davis, and Wes Chapman.
Fabulous.
So I can't take credit for the work. I stand on their shoulders.
You stand on, and those are large shoulders.
Large shoulders.
Yes.
So they're going to stress in the Zumba.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot to subscribe to, but I resurrected it in 2007 with two other of the founding members, which Mary Lynn Jones, Dr. Bobretta Bruton. And so that's how it came to be. But yes, and so I'm very proud to be part of the legacy.
Wonderful. And what a fabulous legacy that is. Even your three names, Paulette, Bobretta, and Mary Lynn, you all here in the Des Moines community, those are big names. So this is an honor.
It's a crew to run with. I run with the Lions. Right.
Yes, they definitely, those are women that roar.
That's right. That's right.
So those of you watching outside of the Des Moines area, we are privileged to have Paulette joining us today.
I'm privileged to be here.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I think what you're doing is remarkable.
Oh,
the fact that you're bringing it and you're bringing technology, education, and you're coming into our homes and offices and wherever we are.
That's right.
Yes, you're just a beautiful black lady,
a
black queen.
You.
Keep going.
Thank you. See why I have these people on my show.
This is awesome.
Thank you. That is so touching to me. And if you all want to say anything to Paulette or myself, especially, I don't know what you could say to me after that. My head just swole up.
True. So true. I mean that.
Let me remind you to click chat at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and log in. And in a few minutes, I'll be checking that chat.
I'd love to hear from the audience.
Yes, wouldn't that be great? Yeah. I haven't logged in yet, but I'll log in a few minutes after you tell us a little bit more about Education Brain Trust, and the Parent Empowerment Conversation that is coming up next Saturday.
That's right. Coming up Saturday, June 30th. Right here at Corinthian, 814 School Street. We'll be in Fellowship Hall.
Okay.
Your next guest has been with me. This is my 3rd year, and this will be her 2nd year working with me.
Oh, wonderful.
In terms of advocacy, she too is a Black queen.
Yes, she is.
I'm very anxious. It's very important for the Black community to come together in a collaborative, cohesive plan for our children.
Absolutely.
This is about our children.
Yes.
And so in our parent empowerment conversation, we have 3 primary tracks.
Okay.
It's education, communication, and advocacy.
Okay.
So when you talk about education, what we're going to do is actually have about 7 roundtables in Fellowship Hall. In education, we got several different subtopics. One of the subtopics is the school board. And I've asked the representative Chaos Abdul Samad to facilitate that discussion. I think that we could use more education. What is a school board?
That's a good question.
Who are these people?
That's right.
How did they get there?
Exactly.
What do they do?
What do they do?
That's and how can I make them more accountable to me?
Exactly.
And my needs. Okay?
Exactly. You know, next week we are while the parent conference is going on and the show's going on, I'm doing a pre-recorded show so I can try to be at the conference.
Good. Communication. You're there all day.
I'm
good.
there. Yay!
Yes,
I'm excited.
Yes,
so what will be shown, and for you viewers, is something that I already recorded on the voters initiative that Corinthian is having. And one of the things that came up during that show is that many people don't, they're very into the national election. Especially with this, being our first African-American president. But most people don't vote in their local election.
So I almost asked for a Kleenex. When you look at the school board election, just across the community, it's less than a 3% voter turnout.
Wow.
In your community, it's a 0% voter turnout.
Wow.
And I can't, if you ask anybody, whether you're an engaged parent or a disengaged parent, what's your most important priority? They're going to tell you my child.
That's right.
Every time.
Exactly.
But we don't know how to participate.
Right.
And so we have to start educating ourselves. So Akayo's going to talk about school board, how it works, and we need to have our own school board candidates.
Yes, that's right.
We're going to have a roundtable about special education. What is special education 101?
Oh, that's so neat.
And what are your rights and responsibilities? Because quite honestly, special education has some great benefits to it.
It really does.
But you have to make it work for you.
Oh, yes.
And so if you have a child who has an individual education plan and they call a meeting and you're at work, and they say, well, the meeting's at 3. Well, I don't get off at 5.
Right.
And they say, well, you come or you're going to lose.
Right.
That's against the law.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they can't call it like that.
Right.
You call the meeting. So I need my parents to be empowered, educated,
yes.
so that they can go forth and make special education. If it is a needed requirement, then let's make it work for you.
Oh, I love that because, I have a child with special needs who has an IEP.
Good.
And that is something that I tell you I've had to fight every step of the way.
And that's not right.
I know.
That's not right.
And I wish, I kept saying, I wish there's a manual or something.
Right. And there actually is. And there's an agency, Ask Family Resource Center, who will be here.
Oh, wonderful.
And Nancy Woods, who has worked in this arena forever, will be here facilitating that conversation.
Wonderful.
The other thing we want to come out of this is, let's say you're at that table, and this won't apply to you, Luana, but there are some parents that says, I don't want to go to an IEP meeting by myself.
I don't even go by myself. I bring an advocate with me.
Good. So I want other parents, and I go to them a lot too. I want other parents to say, listen, I'll go to an IEP meeting. Because it's not right when you are a parent and you walk into an IEP meeting, there's 19 professionals in there.
It's so true.
And it's you against them.
It's so true. It is so true.
Here's what we have to do. We have to build some collaborative strategies.
Yes.
Because we have to go over to the school system side and say, now you got some things to fix over here too.
That's right.
You need to be respectful.
Yes.
You need to be welcoming.
Yes.
And you need to listen to the needs that I have regarding my child.
That's right.
And if we have one voice, one collective strategy, the walls move.
That's right. Okay? That's right.
So you got a school board in place that is receptive and accountable to you.
Yes.
And now you got schools that are welcoming, respectful, and accountable to you. I
love that.
Now this child over here ain't got nothing to do but learn.
That's right. That's right.
It's called a wraparound.
It's a wraparound.
That's
exactly.
Right. Parent, school, community wraparound.
Exactly.
Children are opportunists.
Right.
We're putting way too much responsibility on them. giving them too much opportunity.
It's true.
I don't know. See, I'm 54, thank the Lord. So I wasn't raised in an opportunistic environment. We didn't have opportunity.
It was do this or that's it.
And it was very clear.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Today we have loosened some of those restraints to the point. My children are opportunists. They don't know what long term. Did you know? And John Spinks is going to lead my juvenile justice planning roundtable.
Wonderful.
Did you know the disciplinary policies in school have changed? So if you get a disorderly conduct, and I'll ask you to define that because you can't, because everybody has a different.
Okay, it's so true.
You will get a disorderly conduct. You will not go through the school or disciplinary policy. You're kicked to juvenile court.
No.
Immediately.
Really?
And you get a juvenile record. Really? And your juvenile record is no longer expunged at the age of 18.
Really?
So, you come now into the workforce at 25.
Wow.
Let me tell you what that juvenile record is. Criminal record.
Wow. And no wonder Iowa is #1 in the incarceration. Yes, of African Americans. If those of you that watch the show will know that. If you're new to the show, that might be a statistic that they have not heard.
27% of the incarcerated population and less than 3% of the population?
Yes.
No one can make sense. Stevie Wonder said I can keep you that one.
It makes no sense.
I'm not the smartest bulb, but that work. So what it boils down to is the system has not changed its strategy for the 700 some plus years we've been here.
Right.
But we have never been in a place where we have succumbed to the system at this degree. I'm not mad at them. They haven't done anything different.
That's right.
I have to come home and say, what the heck has happened at home?
Right.
The gatekeepers are gone. The soldiers have left and gone home. The war is far from over.
Right, exactly. And we are losing the battle.
We have lost the battle. We got to go back and get these. We've got young mothers that can't parent because they haven't been parented.
That's so true.
We have a fragmented community because when I was alive, when I grew up, I had a village. Right. Thank God my children had a village.
Exactly.
The village has gone home.
That is so true.
So we have got to come back together and we have to stop talking about what we don't have in common.
Right.
We have to stop talking about what we disagree with.
Right.
And we have to come together and say, we agree on the education and social development of this child.
That's right.
Now, you have your strategies, I have mine.
Right.
As long as at the end of the day, this child's graduated with skill sets that they can go out and conquer and be competitive, I'm good.
Exactly. And that's what we're all striving for.
We need to be striving
That's right. I was going to say, and if you're not, that's what we need to be striving
for.
Well,
you know, lead follower, just get out the way. I can go either way with that one.
Told you it's Lions on the show. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about your shirt.
Okay.
I'd say about 6 minutes or so here on Brown on Black.